It's another Tuesday, and I want to say a very big thank you for joining me on Your Family Lawyer. My name is Earl, and I am alright. I'm a family lawyer, and I am also a counselor psychologist. I want to say a very big thank you for joining me today. I was in court today and had several experiences. I wish I could share my experience with you today, but today I was at the National Industrial Court. And what we had to attend to there was not family law related. But there's another amazing topic that I would like to discuss with you on Your Family Lawyer today to help you understand family law better. And so that by the time you're approaching the lawyer and you're asking the lawyer to help you out when it comes to a particular family law matter, you have an understanding. Yes, I would like to say this again, as I usually say, that what I share here on Your Family Lawyer is not legal advice. So if you have any legal question or any legal issue, you can use the details of this particular live to contact me, or you contact a lawyer that is closest to you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Yes, the topic today is like you have seen on your screen, and like you can see rolling right now on your screen. We are looking at the impact of customary law on our modern Nigeria families, right? I have a particular community for singles as a counselor psychologist, and one of the ladies who is one of the community members says something like, she actually does not get it and she does not understand it. The different types of marriages that exist in Nigeria, that just to get married in Nigeria, you have to do the traditional marriage, you have to do the church wedding, and you have to also do the marriage registry. Well, on Your Family Lawyer, I have broken that down. So you may want to go through to see our previous episodes to actually know how it all plays out, the different types of marriages that we have. We have the customary marriage and we have the statutory marriage. Under the customary marriage, we have the marriages that are based on the different traditions of the different cultures, right? The traditions of the different cultures, the cultures of the different tribes. And we also have Islamic marriage, right? Then we have statutory marriage that is based on the Marriage Act. Over the years and over time, if you followed me on Your Family Lawyer, which happens live here every Tuesday by 7 p.m. Nigeria time, you'd have had one or two understanding about the different types of marriages that we have and how all of this play out. So today, I want to look at the impact. You know, you'd have asked, why is it that I'm not looking at the impact? I think someone would have said, why are you not looking at the impact of statutory marriage on our customary law system? But today I'm looking at our customary law, the impact of customary law on the Nigerian marriage, right? Nigeria family today, as it is today. Can we say our families are traditional? Can we say our families are contemporary? I think the Nigeria family of today is very dynamic because you could actually not so clearly state whether we are traditional or whether we are contemporary. What it would be for us to say, oh, maybe the present day Nigeria family is just a mixture of that customary marriage and what we expect marriages to be today. And trust me, that usually causes a lot of confusion. It usually causes a lot of, I will not say conflicts, because we know the difference as lawyers, but in the eyes of the regular man out there, there seems to be a lot of conflict. So what is the impact customary law has on the modern Nigerian family? Now, the modern Nigerian family is built on three things, and I want to break them one after the other. The first is that we have the modern Nigerian family gets to have this cultural element, historical cultural element from the tribe of the people in the marriage. Now we're talking about the tribe of the husband and the wife. If they are of the same tribe, it makes it easy. But if they have different tribes, now we have to talk about the blending of those different cultures, the blending of those different tribes, as it were. From there, we would move to the fact that many Nigerian families are also very religious. out there, majority of the people are either Christians or they are Muslims. We understand by statistics that Muslims have the higher population than Christians in Nigeria. So, and then we have again everything that the media exposes us to. So we are having elements of Hollywood, we are having elements of Bollywood, we are having elements of the Korean movies. Are they called animes or what? Right? Okay, now we have elements of those different cultures borrowed from these other people based on the media, the entertainment, the social media we consume. So the typical Nigerian family today is made up of a culture, a religion, and what I want to call, how do I call it now? What will I call it? Will I call it contemporary? Right? Contemporary beliefs, which is formed and borrowed from the different cultures through our social interaction and through the media that we consume. If you have this background understanding, you will be able to understand things better, and you'll be able to understand today's topic better, because now we cannot clearly state what regulates the average Nigerian family. But this is your family lawyer, so I will narrow it down to the laws, the traditional laws, the civil laws, the statutory laws that get to regulate things. Number one is that we see that under customary law, we have polygamy. But under statutory law, and under the Christian religion, for example, marriage is monogamous. Under customary law and Islamic law, you could have as many wives as you want. To a large extent, it is even permitted for you to have concubines, right? So we get to see things like that, and things like that get to play out under our custom. We have this large extended family, and there are some communities, I know that this is ancient right now, where we used to have group marriage. Yes, so there are cultures in Nigeria that used to have group marriage long time ago, not so long ago, not just too far ago. We used to have that in Nigeria, and there are people who once practiced that. Now, what it means is that when it comes to what ordinarily ought to be acceptable under the customary law, based on these people backgrounds that they are used to familiar, statutory law and religion, for those who are Christians, comes up as saying, no, that is no longer applicable. In fact, I have known some people in the past, several years ago, who had multiple wives, but because they needed to be able to take communion in the Catholic Church, they had to let go the second and the other wives, right, and stick only to the first wife, because then the Catholic Church only accepted the first wife. So you see all the dynamics. Based on our culture and our villages, it's okay if you have 3 wives, if you have 5 wives, but now you're not part of a religion that says you can no longer do that. You can no longer have that. Under customary law, we had things like fostering of children. We had fostering of children. But under our civil laws of today, we're not having adoption, we are not having legal guardianship, and these dynamics just get to change things, because the question now becomes, when you adopt a child, where does the child rank? Does the child rank by age, or the child rank based on when the child joined your family? Right? So these are things and questions that usually pop up, matters that usually arise, that people usually ask themselves, oh, what are we supposed to do? How is it supposed to go? Right? And it just, even when it comes to succession, when it comes to inheritance, how are we supposed to share this property? For some cultures in Nigeria, the policy is that, like in my culture, the Esan people of Edo State, usually the policy when it comes to inheritance says that all the property goes to the first son, who holds it in trust for every other person. What happens is that the good sons, first sons, will usually come and share all the property and just distribute the property among the siblings. But some others, we hold everything, and now start having conflict. Under succession laws of the different states. We have situations where the law says that no, you have to share the property equally. So you are coming up with having to apply for letters of administration, and the administrators deciding who gets what or who doesn't get what. But our customary law will say, no, this is how it applies. For the Benin's and the Esan people of Edo State, there's a part that the law now recognizes, that the Ijobe, which means the ancestral home, which can be more identified as a home where a particular man performed his traditional rites, regarded as his traditional home, and is most likely buried, cannot be given to any other person. It has to be given to the first son. It must go to the first son. And we have seen situations again and again where a man will write a will and give that particular property to another person. It caused a lot of conflict until the Supreme Court had to say, see, this you can by will share every other property that you have, but to protect the custom of these people, no matter how much you want to share your property, this particular property can only go to the person who is the first son. Right? Now, we can see a balance there, but generally, you'd have seen the conflict arising. Other conflicts include in traditions where a woman has a child out of wedlock. In some traditions of Nigeria, especially before now in the Igbo custom, such children belong to the girl's father, right? An unmarried woman, her children belongs to her father. And when they're talking about a married woman here, they're not talking about a woman that is married that got married in the church religion. They're not talking about a woman that got married in the marriage registry, which is a statutory marriage. They're talking about a woman whose bride price was not paid on her head, customary marriage. Right? But today, why that has been outlawed with the Marriage Act and the different marriage laws of the different states, we still find people who from time to time still try to bring in that their culture. So we still find people that, although we know the culture may not be so enforceable, if you decide to go to court, you will win. But we have realized that when it comes to the social interaction, the social networking, and the social relationship with other people, that these laws kind of apply, right? Nobody may come to take those children from you because you did not pay bride price on their mother. They may not be able to come and forcefully take the children from you, because if you report to the police, you can report for adoption, you can report for kidnapping, you can report for child theft or other issues. But we have seen situations again and again from time to time where the children can be with you, but everybody will cut off relationship with you. Everybody will not want to relate with you, and everybody will not want to talk to you. And we get to see those cultural effects very strong on Nigerian marriages today. Is it not interesting, like one of the topics I discussed today in one of my communities, that the church, when I'm talking about the church right now, I'm talking about it generally in Nigeria, based on most of the churches. The church in Nigeria will most likely tell you that you are not married until you have done a church wedding. Yet, at the same time, the church will tell you that if you've not yet paid bride price, they will not do your joining. Bride price is customary law. They say you must be married under customary law first before you can come and marry under the religious law. Meanwhile, they are also saying that if you don't do if you don't do the church marriage, we will not regard you as married. And we get to have these conflicts. We get to see these conflicts here and there, and these conflicts come and go, and that impact is very massive. This is my counsel to you today, is that when it comes to dealing on family matters, when it comes to marriage, when it comes to funeral, when it comes to succession, when it comes to divorce, when it comes to children, we're talking about adoption, we're talking about legal guardianship, we're talking about custody. if there is any time that there is a conflict between your customary law and what the civil law says, or rather what the statutory law says, follow what the statutory law says, because at the end of the day, it is what the statutory law says that will be enforceable, right? But at the same time, we have observed that where the customary law does not violate the statutory law, people generally will always sit towards the customary law. We cannot break ourselves from the customary law, because tomorrow people see the statutory laws as laws given to us as by colonial masters. So there's this resistance we still have towards it. There's this resistance people still have towards it. So where there's no conflict, you may want to apply your customary law, but if there is conflict, please go with the statutory law, because at the end of the day, that is what we count. I do not wish to take all of your time. Thank you so much for joining me, and if you get to watch the replay of this, or you get to watch this after, kindly send your questions or contact me using the details of this on this particular live video. And if you don't want to contact me, please ensure you contact a lawyer close to you before making any legal decision, before making any legal choice. I'll be back here again by 7 p.m. Tuesday next week, so I want you to note it in your calendar. It will be your family lawyer with your sincerely I, who is a family lawyer and also a counseling psychologist. My name is Earl, and I'm all right. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. You're all.